So, once again, welcome to this session, the 41st episode of SkillUP. SkillUP has become quite popular because of your enthusiastic participation all through. And this is the second year and the 41st episode. I'm extremely happy that this has been received well by people from all across the ISAME area. And sometimes we are receiving, we have participants from outside the area also. Welcome everybody. I told you many times the main purpose of this SkillUP series has been to involve all the LCIPs and also give ourselves an opportunity to present on topics of interest to everybody so that the FDIs, the ALIs, the ELIs, and all the trained graduates from Lions Clubs International, or also sometimes non-Lions and passionate trainers, teachers, everybody to benefit from it. So the topics have been curated in such a way that they are generally interesting and useful to not only Lions, but everybody. So I sometimes send the invitation to non-Lions also hoping that the topics are neutral and they also would be interested. The basic idea is, of course, to involve the LCIPs who are the highest trained Lions in Lions Clubs International. There are only a very small number of them. As on today, there are only 89 of us in the ISAME area. And I'm extremely happy that the LCIPs have been willingly, passionately coming forward to make these presentations possible. Thank you once again and welcome. These were the presentations that were made last year. And so each one of them was presented by an LCIP, as I told you already. And each one of them had either an international director or a past international director, or sometimes international presidents and vice presidents as chief guests. And after the first year concluded in the month of June, we had a 1 month gap in the month of July and August. We started again. And this is the second series, SkillUP 2.0. And again, we have done quite a lot of programs. And we are here on the 41st episode of this SkillUP. And once again, let me tell you repeatedly that I'm extremely happy that this has been going on well and this has been received well by people from across ISAME area. So this is the list of the presentations that have already been over. And today we are in the 41st episode, 3rd April. And LCIP Saqib Rahimji is going to make the presentation today about the misconceptions about motivation or the myths about motivation. And we have our chief guest, PID Muhammad Adris. So he is going to address us soon. So each one of these presentations begins with reading out the code of ethics. And today, surprisingly, we have 4 Lions from 4 different clubs. All of them are very young in Lionism and almost new to Lionism. But they have come forward and I'm extremely, again, very happy that even reading out the code of ethics has become quite popular with us. And then there are passionate Lions who are coming forward to help us in this. I have mentor Lion Ramana Reddy, who is associated with all these 4 clubs from which these 4 Lions have been chosen. And he assisted them and also is coordinating the effort. We have Lion Vijeta Reddy, Lion SN Raju, Lion G Gayatri, and Lion Vishal Bandela. I ask all 4 of them to keep your microphones unmuted so that we can begin reading out the code of ethics as we begin. So if you are all ready, I'm going to start this code on the screen and you can read either from the text that you have or from the screen. Please start.
To show my faith in the worthiness of my vocation by industrious application to the end that I may merit a reputation for quality of service.
Are you reading the second one?
Okay. To seek success and to demand all fair remuneration or profit as my just due, but to accept no profit or success at the price of my own self-respect lost because of unfair advantage taken or because of questionable acts on my part. To remember that in building up my business, is it not necessary to tear down another's to be loyal to my clients or customers and true to myself? Whenever a doubt arises, as to the right or ethics of my position or action towards others to resolve such doubts against myself.
To hold
And
friendship.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, sir. To hold friendship as an end and no a means. To hold that a true friendship exists not to an account of the service performed by one to another, but the true friendship demands nothing but accepts service in the spirit in which it is given. Always to be bear in mind my obligations as a citizen to my nation, to my state, and my community, and to give them my unswearing loyalty in word, act, and deed, to give them freely of my time, labor, and means.
Satyanarayana Garu?
Yes. To seek success and to demand all fair remuneration or profit as my just due, but to accept no profit or success at the price of my own self-respect, lots of because of unfair advantage taken or because of questionable acts on my part.
Careful with my criticism and liberal with my praise to build up and not to destroy.
Thank you, all four of you. Thank you very much. Perhaps there was some little confusion, but I think you've done a great job. Excellent. Once again, thank you, everybody, for helping me with
Thank
this
you
code of ethics.
very much.
I just would like to take a minute to tell you that last fortnight, or maybe or a month ago, I was at the Lions Club's international headquarters in Chicago. So when I went to the headquarters, so there was a display of various things that have been with us for maybe a century or even longer than that. So one of them was the Code of Ethics. So this was written and accepted by Lions Clubs International and adopted more than 100 years ago, right in 1917. All the other things that we know about Lionism, including our motto, our slogan, and various other things, came to us later. So even the interpretation of the letters LIONS came much later, not in 1917, but the Code of Ethics has been with us right from the beginning. That's, I think, something wonderful. So something that has lasted more than a century, I think something that is significantly important to us. And I'm extremely happy to tell you that I was excited at seeing that displayed in one of the showcases there at the international headquarters. Thank you once again, all of you. Thank you, Ramana Reddy Garu, for coordinating the effort. So we have come to the main part of the program. So I have here our chief guest, a past international director, Mohammad Adris ji, who is the chief executive officer of the Sitara Chemical Group. I think the largest alkali chemical complex in Pakistan. He also is engaged in various other businesses, including chemicals, textiles, energy, real estate, health, education, and all these together, he does a business turnover of 30 billion rupees. I think you can imagine how big his empire is. He's associated with almost every industry that we can think of. He was an international director during the years 2018 to 2021 for a 3-year period because one of those years had Corona, and then so all the directors were requested to serve for one more year. That was very, very unique again. Every important business, commercial association that's there in Pakistan, he is associated with that, starting from the Federation of Pakistan Chambers and Commerce to I think there is perhaps no organization of which he has not been associated. He chaired many important business establishments, both private and government. He graduated from the Punjab University and went for higher education to London and also Canada. He studied at Jakaria University, Guildhall University, and a few other universities, Punjab University, and a few other universities. He is associated with quite a lot of professional organizations also, and his qualifications are quite innumerable to read out. He also was a part of the steering committee for providing strategic guidance to implementation of the Federal Shariat Council and many other national, international organizations, especially commerce and industry. He also is an academician in the sense he's the managing trustee of the Aziz Fatima Trust Hospital, trustee of the Aziz Fatima Educational Complex, and the former Secretary General of the Message Foundation Lahore, president of the Sheikh Foundation Faisalabad. He was district governor during 96-97 and multiple council chairperson also during 2003-2004. So I'm extremely happy that PID Adrisji has given us time this evening. I request him to give his message and also declare this episode of SkillUP as inaugurated. Over to our chief guest.
Raju ji, thank you very much for such a long my introduction. And when you are going to were giving my introduction, I was thinking all my Lionism career, where I have learned a lot, so that I was able to really contribute in all the associations which you have named. So thank you very much. First of all, nagaji, thank you very much, and congratulations for this very successful, as you said, I know, this program, SkillUP, and being liked by the Lions, being done, skilled up the people. I'm also, thank you very much for the invitation of this program by PDG Saqib Rahim as chief guest. My dear fellow Lions and friends, I'm honored to join you today. Lionism is a beacon of hope, inspiring us to serve, lead, and unite, and support to the needy. Today we gather to inspire, motivate, and empower each other, actually, and to learn, grow, and enhance our skills. This session is a testimony to your commitment to excellence. I would like to share some thoughts about today's topic, misconception about motivation. It's very unique, today's topic. One cannot understand what does it mean and what is going to discuss, and the myth of the misconception of motivation. I will start from my own experience, and which I know that how I was motivated, and if you are motivated, it's not only the motivation that is enough to get the things done or get the results done. There are many coupled other things which I believe, which I think in my previous career. For example, if one is motivated but he does not have knowledge, he has no guidance, he does not know how to get these things done, but I am motivated, but I don't know how to get these things done. I have no resources. So that motivation will remain only as a dream. That's it. A dream is something else, and motivation to get the things done. That I have learned a lot from Lionism. I will share. I was started my career as chairman, charter knight, become president later on, then Jane chairman, region chairman, and then deputy governor and governor, and then multiple council chairman, and ultimately international director. So in all these era, I have been motivated by listening the success stories as well as the guidance. nagaji, you believe me, whenever I am in the international convention as a lion, I used to plan and make full use of my time to go each and every learning session in the international convention. So understand about the lionism, to understand, and from there, when you understand, I believe, if I am given a assignment, and if I don't read, I don't understand, I won't be able to deliver. And if I read, I understand, and then I'm given guidance, I'm given enough resources to get the things done, then I will be able to deliver. And then that means the motivation which I have from the success stories, success people, as you have a mentor, so you have to have somebody in your life, some mentor who is successful, with whom you understand how he is getting the things done, how he is motivated. Motivation is very, very important to get the things done. Otherwise, you are in the status quo situation. This is what I believe. And you will see people living in the status quo situation. They don't have any aim, goal, motivation. Rather, I would say, as this program is skill. And skill is very, very important for the, again, for the achievements, target. And I believe the all people, I'm sharing my story. As I said, I was used to make full use of my time in the international conventions. This is how I got a lot of knowledge, leadership, time management, conflict resolving, and so many things, which made me to be a honesty leader. And for the information of the my all dear fellow Lions participants, nagaRAJU is, I believe, I say in Pakistan, everywhere, I don't see a practical university of leadership learning of Lions Club better and bigger than this Lions Club International. You mentioned many portfolios. You know why I was successful? Because I started, as I said, from as a member. Then with the passage, I keep learning, and because of that learning, because of that skill, because of that your behavior, your attitude, your way of speaking, that all matters. As I said, it's not only the motivation. It all depends how you communicate, how you talk with the people, how you motivate people. And I know that how I made motivated people, that if I said, you got to do it, he really did it. So that is something, I would say, the leadership. Motivation, leadership in qualities, motivation is very, very important. The leaders who turn around all the situations by motivating, by communicating, and this is how, honestly, I keep successing myself, and I have successful achievements. And even I was president federation. I was president my third largest city of Pakistan, Faisalabad, and in any associations. I learned from this platform, Lionism, how to communicate, how to deal with the people, how to motivate with the people, how to motivate with my cabinet, how to motivate with my colleagues. Those were all volunteers. They are not your paid employees, that is very, very important. And in this, you need to be skilled up. How to motivate, how to guide, how to tell, to show their target, to show their roadmap. And if you are, have all the leadership skill, this is another complete topic. People should love to work with you. Make yourself in such a way. So be respectful and come to their communication level. And they will be comfortable. If they are comfortable to talk to you, they are comfortable to work with you, they will do it for you, anything you require from them. So I would say altogether it's motivation, leadership, and generally as people follow your politeness, your patience, your integrity, so that you have that talent and skill to work with the teamwork. That's very, very important. You believe in teamwork, you give them delegation, power of delegation, you guide them, you let them to understand your program goal. So in so many things, the way you can. And on the other side, I always emphasize all my lines: be disciplined, be in corporate culture, which gives you politeness, which gives you soft and proper your behavior and all that. Finally, once again, I would like to thank host of this session, nagaRAJU ji, PDG Saqib Rahim, and all organizing team for this informative Zoom session. This kind of sessions are very, very effective and important for lines. The time slot which I have given, I think this is what I can say. I would also like to appreciate the participants who participate in this informative session. This session will definitely enhance their skills and help to foster their personal growth. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, PID. Mohammad Adris ji, thanks a lot for emphasizing on the importance of skills, importance of motivation, and also throwing a little light on how motivation, how you are self-motivated to achieve all that wonderful success that you made possible. A 30 billion rupee empire is not an easy job. I think you must have struggled a lot, and then you must have gone through all kinds of situations in your life to achieve that. I think the empire that you built and the kind of industries that you lead today are, I think, phenomenal. I'm extremely happy that you've joined us today and shared your thoughts with us. Thank you once again. So now we'll move on to the second part of the presentation, the talk that we are going to have. So I told you already that we are going to have LCIP Saqib ji making a presentation about the myths and misconceptions about motivation. I think motivation is a very highly complicated topic. I think it's difficult to understand it in full. I think there are lots of myths about it, lots of misconceptions about it, and to clarify all of them and to tell us a lot about motivation, we have here an LCIP from Pakistan, Lion Saqib Rahim ji. So he is a chemical engineer by profession. He has been running his own chemical manufacturing business in Multan, which is a mid part of Pakistan. He has been associated with, I think that there is a coincidentally, both are the speaker and the chief guest come from similar industries and are similarly engaged. He also has been associated with quite a lot of different organizations, including the Zakaria Business Graduates Alumni, and he's a member of the Multan Chamber of Commerce and Industry, a member of the Board of Studies of the Institute of Management Sciences of BZ University. He's a member of the board of the VTI Punjab University and has been actively engaged in quite a lot of different philanthropic activities. Lion for a very, very, very long time, since 1992. He served as a district governor in 2013 and 14, and quite a lot of different positions at the district level, at the multiple level, especially as a district GLT. He did tremendous work. And in 2005, when earthquake struck, in 2010, when the flood occurred in South Punjab of Pakistan, he played a major role in serving the people in need. And he's an FDI. And that FDI, some of you may remember that FDI is a very short lived course for 1 or 2 years. It was offered, I think, and then he did that course as well. And the first LCIP from Pakistan. I think that's something significant. He is a faculty member at numerous international institutes and institutes. Saqib is teaching in Bahadur Zakaria University as a visiting faculty since 2000. I request Lion Saqib ji to make his presentation about the misconceptions, the myths about motivation. Over to Saqib ji.
Thank you, Raju ji. It's very nice of you for giving me such a nice introduction of myself. I really appreciate you for such a nice words for me. As far as the motivation is concerned, what PID Adris said, for me, one of the icon in Lions Club in Pakistan is Mia Muhammad Adris, and I really look forward and always look forward to him to give us the guidance, and he has always been very kind to give us a very true knowledge of Lionism, and he always lead it with an example. Because it was being discussed about the motivation. So my motivation in Lions Club is Mia Dries, I knew, and I joined in 92, and I was first ever in the district cabinet was when he was the district governor. Anyhow, let's discuss the misconception or myths of motivation. When you floated the idea of the topics you floated, which one you wanted to select for the presentation, and I go through and all this topic, and I couldn't go away when I saw that myth of motivation or misconception about motivation. I thought it is a very interesting thing. You see, motivation is one of the most discussed topic, one of the most discussed element in every form of the life. You may be developing yourself, you are interacting with the people, you are interacting with an organization, you are in your house, you are dealing with your kids, you are dealing with your employees, you are dealing with your subordinates, your whatever, the officers, bosses. The one element that count your whole effort is the motivation. And that's why it is being discussed in a huge manner. That's why the reason everybody is talking about the motivation. And when you are talking about the motivation or anything in such an enormous way, a lot of misconception develops because everybody is saying something about the topic. I was Googling when I was preparing this motivation topic, and I asked Google how many books are being written on motivation in the world. And he said it is not possible to tell you how many books are written on motivation. On a precise but in a very rough structure, 2 million books on every year. You see how much motivation is being talked or being written and being discussed in the world. So if such a thing is being discussed, a lot of misconception and myths are being developed on the motivation. Today we'll be discussing those myths, and we'll be discussing what are the misconception about these motivation. But before I go further, I'll give you what we'll be discussing in the subject what are the objectives of this very session. We'll be defining motivation. We'll be discussing the misconception versus the reality. What is the difference in misconception? Why misconceptions are being discussed? And I have gathered out 7 misconceptions about motivation, to my knowledge, to my understanding. There can be a number of more than 7, but I will be discussing only 7. And impact of these misconceptions in our lives and ways to address them. These would be session objectives. I've given us figures, a small figure picture, a jigsaw puzzle about this thing.
So you have to choose one of the 4, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will be asking these 78 members to give me their responses. Which emoji best describes your current motivation level? Number 1, on fire. Number 2, ready to go. Need a nap, or up and down.
I think quite a lot of them have said 2, ready to go.
Can you share me the result?
Yeah, result, most of them, quite a lot of them said 2, and 1 or 2 of them said up and down. And I think nearly 90-95% of them have said ready to go.
Okay, that's very nice that everybody is prepared. Everybody wanted to know about the misconceptions. Everyone is enthusiastic to go. And those who are up and I'll be asking them, I will try them to be on the fire. Okay, let's have another quiz also. Is motivation ever a snack? What it would be for you? Coffee, a pizza, a salad, or a donut, just a donut? So can I have something?
Again, we cannot see your screen. That's a problem. I think that it has not moved to the next slide.
Can you see the slide?
No, you have not moved to the next slide, or maybe you moved, but we are not able to see.
I have moved the slide. G.
Yeah,
okay.
Now it has come. It has come now.
Okay. There was a problem with the things. Now it would be.
Wonderful, wonderful, excellent. Now we are in the slideshow. Fine, perfect. Go ahead now.
Okay. I forgot to click the enable editing button.
Yeah, now it's in right.
Okay. So, do you have the second question? If motivation were a snack, what is it for you?
For me,
coffee,
it's a
coffee, the pizza, the salad, or donut?
Rajan Bhutaniji say coffee. Hanumant Reddy says 4. That is a donut, and then Basam El Dayana says 1. That is a coffee, and many of them have said coffee.
Coffee. So they need a boost. They need a boost, right? Okay. What is your biggest motivation killer?
So what kills your motivation? Again, the answer is the procrastination from District Governor Mahendra Kumar. And I think some of them have said unclear goals. And I think the answers are mixed.
So sometimes it's happened, the motivation killer are always there. The purpose was to discuss the motivation killer. That is what I'm saying. That we always have the motivation killers. That is the delaying tactics, a fear of failure, unclear goals, and burnout. Any reason can be there to demotivate you. Okay. So what do you think? Why motivation? This would be an interactive session. I would request everybody to give feedback so that we can go forward and discuss it in a more appropriate manner. You can give me an answer in 1 or 2 or 3 words. Why motivation? Can anybody give me an answer why motivation? Why we are discussing motivation? Why it is so important to discuss motivation? Rajuji, can I get an answer?
Yeah, I'm just checking. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for answers. The question is, why do we need motivation? There is a first answer from Chiluveru Ananda Kumari. She says, to keep us on track is one answer, to achieve goals is the other answer, and to reach the goal is Purushottam's answer. And Dr. Ananda Kumari says to keep us on track and with our plans and ambitions. To bring out the best in oneself is Ashok Mistri's answer. To reach our common goals is Basan Dana's answer. And to keep
Very nice, very nice, very nice. So everybody know the importance of motivation, and everyone has an idea why we are discussing motivation. That is a good thing to move forward. But for me, motivation is a psychological process to achieve goals and dreams, increase productivity and efficiency, to foster personal growth and development, the frames relationship and social interactions. You see, whatever the case may be, you are dealing with your goals, you are dealing with your dreams, you want to increase your productivity, you want to have a good efficient in the society, or you want to be a your self development, or personal growth is there, or even in a relationship management, you need to be motivated. The motivation is always there. That is a psychological process going side by side whenever we dealing in any kind of activities, any kind of engagement in our lives. So that is the importance of motivation. So let's see. And so a lot of theories are being discussed on this motivation. If I give you a small clip, so how many people have given successful theories, and we study all these theories. Maslow's and Herzberg is one of the most important and renowned theories. Otherwise, Drucker is there, Likert is there, Tyler and Garius, McClelland and McGraver and Mayo, and a lot more theories are there for the motivation. I doubt any such number of theories are there for any other psychological processes in the world. I think I doubt for that matter. Otherwise, motivation is one of the most discussed topic and most theoried psychological process in the world. This is the importance of the motivation. So when, as I said, if we are discussing so lot of motivation, then there has to be certain misconception. There has to be certain myths about that very topic. What is the difference between misconception and reality? Misconceptions are inaccurate beliefs or ideas. And beliefs are defined to be a piece of knowledge to be true. And that is your belief. Whenever you think that this knowledge is a true knowledge, you start believing on that thing. And once you believe a knowledge, a piece of knowledge, you start developing a perception about that very thing. And that perception moves to the formation of attitudes. And ultimately, those attitudes are converted into behaviors. So if your belief is on a certain misconception, or if your belief is on a myth, what would be the behavior? That won't be an appropriate behavior. So you need to change the belief. So if a misconception is there, it means that you have a wrong belief. So you need to change the belief system. So this is a misconception importance. Whereas reality is actual state of things. What is being done in the reality? You have to be very rational in thinking. What is being going on in the society? That is the state of the things, actual state of the things. There is a hell of a difference in between misconception and the reality. And realities are there to give you a good behavior. So whenever there is a misconception, we have a wrong behavior, unacceptable behavior in the society. Whereas if the beliefs is on a reality, we are a successful person. We are a lucky person rather. So a lucky person is who believe on reality, who believe on the actual state of doing things, who live in presence, who doesn't fear from the past or the future. So you have to be in a real world. That's why we need to distinguish between misconception and reality. When we are in a misconception mode, or a lot of myths are there in our minds, that will hinder our learning, lead to incorrect conclusions, build an incorrect, inaccurate foundations. And when foundations are inaccurate, the building is always shattering. The building is always on a danger. Frustration is there if the misconceptions are there, doubts, ineffective strategies. You're not successful if you are based on misconceptions. Obviously, that is a belief, what I'm saying. Misjudge ourselves. We are ourselves misjudging ourselves. And obviously, to address misconceptions, that will help us apply motivation strategies more effectively. So let's see what are the misconceptions about motivation. As I said, I'll be discussing 7 misconceptions about, or 7 myths about the motivation. One is a myth that motivation is constant, whereas it is not. Motivation alone ensures the success. This is also one of the biggest myths. You need to feel motivated to act. And this is very confusing. Unless you feel motivated, people say you won't be going for the action. And motivation is the same for everyone. Is it so? We'll be discussing it in a short while. And external rewards are the best motivators. The money, the position. We think the environment. We think these are the external rewards. These are the best motivators. This is a myth. Lack of motivation equals laziness. If a person is a lazy, we say that he is not motivated. He is demotivated. That is also one of the myths. And last but not the least, successful people are always motivated. So this is also very confusing. Is it a successful people is demotivated or unmotivated and he is successful? Is it so? We'll be discussing it in the near. Right now, we'll be discussing the 7th myth. Let's discuss one by one all these myths in detail. Number 1 myth is the motivation is constant. Well, I say motivation is not constant. The reason behind the motivation fluctuates due to emotions, environment, and circumstances. Whether it may be a positive or maybe a negative emotions. The energy is there to act. Anger, on the other hand, demotivate us. Whenever we are in a positive mode, positive emotions are there, we are motivated to do something. But when there is a negative energy there, we are demotivated. So it's not constant. Basically, in that emotions influences our behavior. We are living in an emotional world. We are gathered, we are surrounded by people We are surrounded by events. We are surrounded by different kind of things. All gave us negative or positive reinforcement. These emotions distort our motivation level. Well, I do remember whenever I go for the exams in our student life, I was so motivated to do something. So in an exams, when there is a period of exams, you are always highly motivated to go for the studies, to get good marks, to get good grades. So motivation is not constant. So one of the myth is that motivation is constant, and I say motivation is something like this kind of a roller coaster thing. It is sometimes it's high, it is sometimes low. It is a natural phenomenon. And whenever it is a low level, it doesn't mean that you are not performing. You won't be able to perform the things. It is not like that. It is a natural phenomenon. It's a myth that motivation is always constant. You have to be always motivated to do something. You have to be always motivated to be successful. This is not like that. You will be, sometimes you will be at a high level, sometimes you'll be at the lower level. So that is a natural phenomenon. That because emotions are linked with us. We are living in an emotional world. The other, okay, let's see what you say about motivation is a feeling, is a skill, or is a habit. What do you say? Give me your opinion. Is it a feeling? Is it a skill? Or is it a habit?
So the first answer has come from Nallapandi. He says it's a skill, and Sanjeev Gupta ji says it's a feeling, and Basam Dana says it's a skill. Hanumant Reddy says it's one that is a feeling, and iPhone, I don't know who that is. He or she says it's a feeling. So quite a lot of people say it's a
Anybody?
feeling, and some of them say it's a skill.
So anybody had said is a habit?
No, no, so far no.
So a lot of people think it is a feeling.
Yeah.
It is a feeling. If it is a feeling, it comes from within you, and it's a natural feeling. And if it is a skill, it can be a learned. Is it? If it is a skill, a skill can be learned. And if it is a feeling, you won't be able to learn the things. Whatever. That's the understanding of different people. I won't be commenting on this thing, but I wish somebody would have said it is a habit. Motivation alone ensures the success. This is another misconception, a big misconception. That's what PID Mia Adris was also saying. The only motivation is not the responsible to be the success. Rather, is a self-discipline, effort, planning, and consistency. You are motivated to lose weight. Say, I give you an example. If someone want to lose his or her weight, he or she is very much motivated to do so. And he goes and buys a very expensive shoes, get a kit, and go to some gym and get the membership and huge payment of that very thing. And he goes for 2 or 3 or 5 or 1 week. And then he's there, whatever he was or she was. And that motivation shatters out after a week. Have you seen, at least I have you seen a treadmill lying in your house, which is normally used for drying clothes? It was being bought to get yourself reduced. And you are motivated to buy that thing. And you have done it. And it's very easy to get the money and give it to the shopkeeper and get that treadmill and put it in your house in somewhere. And after a week, you are not able to go for the treadmill because you were motivated, but you haven't developed any kind of discipline, any kind of routine, any kind of planning. If the planning is not there, if the strategy is not there, how to achieve that success? What alone motivation would be doing? People says the motivation precedes action. That's what people says. If you have a motivation, you go for the action. You move for the action. It is not like that. Motivation is basically the byproduct of small interim successes. Motivation is a byproduct of taking meaningful and consistent action. It is a routine. Think about athletes. They are, sometimes they may not be motivated at a time, and they are on a routine matter. They go daily on a certain kind of exercise. They go daily on, say, 4 o'clock and to 7 o'clock, or 2 o'clock, or early in the morning, 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and they go for their daily exercises and all those uh, uh, fitness they are going for the athletic competition. But if they are only just motivated and don't use or don't develop that routine of their exercises, do you think they will be successful? They won't be successful unless you have a disciplined life, unless you have a planning. Only motivation doesn't give you uh, uh, surety or guarantee that you will be uh, successful in your life. So, consistency is the key. The second myth is also busted, that is, motivation alone doesn't ensure the success. The third misconception is you need to feel motivated to act. Unless people say, unless you have been motivated, you won't be able to act. It is a regular misconception about this action. But it is not like that. We need to develop a momentum of successes, whereas action often generates motivation, not the other way around. If you are going for certain tasks, and previously I was saying you have a routine matter and your disciplined matter, and you are going on a daily basis to achieve that small success, you automatically be getting motivated after a very small success. I give you an example of writing a book. If somebody wants to write a book of, say, 200 or 300 pages, is it possible for him or her to write that book in one go? It won't be like that. But it would be very easy for him or her if he or she just write 250 words a day or 500 words a day, whatever the capacity you may have. And you break down your whole target into small successes. Those successes give you momentum, and that momentum ultimately give you the motivation to complete the book. I start playing golf a year back. At the age of 64 or 63, I started playing golf. And people were saying I was very motivated to play golf. And I thought I would be hitting and 250 yards of first my shot. And I was looking that professionals who were playing very underhand, and I was very motivated. And after a week or 10 days, I thought it is not possible for me to be a good golfer. And I quit. And I didn't went to play golf anymore. One day, one of my friends said, let's play golf. And I said, "Okay, it is not possible for me because I won't be able to learn the golf at 64." Then he said, "Nee, okay, I'll tell you the way you do it. You just hit for 100 yards. You take the concept to hit your first tee for 100 yards. But that's it. And then you master your first tee for 100 yards. That's it. For 1 week or 10 days, you master yourself for 100 yards. And then for the second week or after 10 days, you go for 150. And then you go for the 250. Now, right now, after a year, I can hit a 250 yards shot. So it is basically the small successes. That is it is the momentum of those small successes that give you the motivation level, that drags you to move forward, to go for the success. So this is also a misconception. Okay, you need to feel motivated to act. It is act which creates the motivation level. Do you think motivation is the same for everyone? Give me your answers. Yes or no?
Answers are no.
Motivation is same for everyone.
Yeah.
What is your answer?
Almost everybody had said no.
Yeah. This is very clear. The motivation is not same for everyone because we are living in a diversified society. Motivation is personal. What drives one person may not work for another. We have two kinds of kids in our own house. One is fond of sweet, another is fond of salt. One is being dragged by some kind of motivation, another is not. The same is case with us. A lot of people are not lions. A lot of people are lions. So we are living in a diversified society. So everybody has its own strengths. We have own culture. We have languages. Even we have preferences and background knowledge and backgrounds with us that will distinguish us from one another. The diversity is very much there. I won't be discussing diversity. Otherwise, diversity, I'm sure everybody has the knowledge about the diversity, what diversity is. So this diversity make you compelled to have a different motivation level. One thing is not motivation for one person, and other maybe as a motivation. That is the same for the humor, by the way, also. Another misconception is external rewards are the best motivators. We have been discussing this intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, and this is a very famous topic. Frederick Herzberg has given this theory that intrinsic motivation often lasts longer than the extrinsic motivation. Intrinsics means passion, interest, curiosity, enjoyment, purpose, fun, whereas the money, praise, rewards, punishment, grades, and rewards are all extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic and intrinsic motivation is a huge debate. You cannot say extrinsic motivation are useless. These motivation are called hygiene factors. Whereas intrinsic motivation as intrinsic motivation that is from your inner side, whereas extrinsic motivators are basically the hygiene factor. And you know why these extrinsic motivators are called a hygiene factor? Hygiene is if a person get sick and you are only concerned about the hygiene of that very person, that the sick person. You are cleaning his or her bed. You are keeping the things hygiene. You are keeping away the bacteria from him or her. Is it that only hygiene will be there to cure the sick person? It won't be. But if the hygiene is not there, would the medicine will be effective? Even that won't be happening. You will be giving antibiotics, and you are not giving him the hygiene conditions, the person may not be cured. So hygiene is there with the intrinsic factors. All these two things has to be in a combination to get the people motivated. It is not which is more important and which is less important. Both things are important. So this is a myth that external only money will be a motivating factor, or praising somebody is a motivating factor, or awarding and punishment, that would be only a motivating factor. Or even though only passion and interest and curiosity, enjoyment is the only motivating factor, even though that is not be, that won't be happening again. So these two things has to be together to get the desired results. Another misconception, that is the sixth one, that is the second last, which I'll be discussing right now. The lack of motivation equals laziness. Low motivation can result from burnout, unclear goal, or mental health issues. That is the reality. A person is not performing, and we say he is demotivated or he is not motivated. It is not like that. Maybe he or she is burnout, or the goals are not clear, or is physically he is not fit. The chronic illness may hinder you to complete the task. Sometimes overburden of the assignments don't give you the desired results. Multitasking, social media, distractions, these all things causes the laziness. And we say that person is not motivated, whereas it is not like that. A person may be motivated, but he don't have the physical capacity to do that. He don't have the time to do that. He don't have the courage to do that. If that is the thing, he don't have the environment. If that is the thing, only motivation won't be doing anything. Or the lack that doesn't mean that is the lack of motivation. And lastly, one of the most important is the self-discipline. We always say that successful people are always motivated. Whenever we praise anyone who is a successful person, and we say he is a very motivated person, it is not like that. Successful person is basically a disciplined person rather than a motivated person. That discipline creates a motivation in yourself. Discipline provides consistent and dependable framework for the success. You see, this inspiration, normally you are being inspired by somebody and you get motivated. This phenomena of inspiration is very instant, very instant, and so is unpredictable also. You get inspired by like this. It is a very rare in your life you get inspired. Say after a year you get inspired by someone, or in 6 months you get inspired by someone. You get inspired by a teacher, you get inspired by somebody, some mentor, whatever. You get some, you if you wanted to play golf, you can get inspired by some good player. That would be very instant, very rare, and it fluctuates also. And other thing is, inspiration fades out. It is for a moment. Say, moment can be, say, 1 month, or 1 week, or even 6 weeks, 6 months. 6 months. 1 year. 1 year. 2 years. 3 years. 4 years. 5 years. 6 years. 7 years. 8 years. 9 years. 10 years. 11 years. 12 years. 13 years. 14 years. 15 years. 16 years. 17 years. 18 years. 19 years. 20 years. 21 years. 22 years. 23 years. 24 years. 25 years. 26 years. 27 years. 28 years. 29 years. 30 years. 31 years. 32 years. 33 years. 34 years. 35 years. 36 years. 37 years. 38 years. 39 years. 40 years. 41 years. 42 years. 43 years. 44 years. 45 years. 46 years. 47 years. 48 years. 49 years. 50 years. 51 years. 52 years. 53 years. 54 years. 55 years. 56 years. 57 years. 58 years. 59 but it fades out. Unless until you have a systematic, disciplined strategy or planning to follow. Whereas the self-discipline always gave us the systematic planning opportunity for us. That discipline is always reliable as compared to inspiration. Minimize the burden of decision making. That is one advantage of self-discipline. You see, small achievable goals can be created by discipline. As I said earlier, you need to have a momentum of successes. That is only possible with small achievable goals. What we can do is we should divide the whole that thing into small achievable successes. One success will lead us to the another one, and we will be motivated. You see, the motivation would be the result from the success, the first success. It is not first you go motivated and then you will the success. It is basically the strategy, the routine matter, discipline, the repetition of the things that will create a motivational level in yourself. That is a huge myth or misunderstanding that the successful people are always motivated. The successful people are disciplined and then they get the motivation level and they move forward. They are motivated, but not like that. These routine things give you a success. And you can give a number of examples of any successful people who is playing, who is doing, and then he get the success. Do you think he's always motivated, a good athlete? You think he's always motivated for the whole life? Is it possible? Emotions are there, people are there, negative things are there. You have phases in your life are there. Your motivation level drops down. The only thing that holds you up is your routine, your self-discipline, is your negative, low motivated phases that hinders you for to be motivated. So I think I've taken a much time. I will be giving some time for the question answer session. And about this slide, this is a slide of motivation, you can jigsaw puzzle. I have given this slide because I think the picture is only completed when we have all the jigsaw puzzle with us. Only then the picture will be complete. For only motivation, the picture is not complete. We have to put a lot of pieces around it, the motivation, to get the picture complete. I think we have defined the motivation. We have given the concept. We have discussed conceptions and reality. We have discussed the 7 misconceptions about motivation, impact of these motivation, and ways to address them. I think I have answered all these questions. If you have a question, you are always welcome to go for. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sakibji. Thank you very much for that exhaustive presentation on the topic. I think you've done a lot of research about that during the last few days to make this presentation. You've gathered a lot of information about that, especially I think the last point that you made, how to address the misconceptions, perhaps will benefit each one of us who has attended this presentation. Thank you once again. I'm sorry, must close now, but anyway, you made it very interactive. You asked lots of questions during the presentation. There were lots of chat interaction. That's why maybe we can directly go on to the vote of thanks. I invite the next presenter, LCIP, Dr. Mudassir, to propose a vote of thanks and also invite us to the next presentation. Over to Dr.
Thank you, and nagaRAJU. Yes, it is indeed a privilege to give a vote of thanks. First of all, to our chief guest, past international director, Lion Mohammad Idris, for beautifully bringing about the topic of motivation and, of course, his personal experiences as well as motivation is concerned. A big round of thanks to our today's faculty, LCIP, Lion Saqib Ibrahim. I think he covered the topic of motivation, especially the myths, very well, and he covered all whether he told us about the why motivation is required. He told us misconceptions versus the reality, what are the 7 misconceptions, the main misconceptions, and how these affect us, and also how to address us. So congratulations, Lion Saqib Ibrahim, for an excellent presentation. Really, you kept most of us, I think, spellbound. Of course, our facilitator, Lion nagaRAJU, I think this beautiful concept of SkillUP is giving such a wonderful opportunity to our LCIPs. I think, of course, and the motivational song you play each time is really heartening. So a big round of thanks to you and all our wonderful audience. I think we have reached a number of almost 80 or 90. And so they were passionately listening for almost 1.5 hours. So thank you for your attendance. And I will take this opportunity to invite you for the next session. You have a date with me and, of course, Lion nagaRAJU. It's on 10th of April. And we have a very interesting topic, adaptability as a leadership skill. And looking forward to seeing you all there. Thank you very much for a wonderful evening and wishing you a great weekend and great week. And see you again next Thursday. Remember, 10th April, we are there at 8:55 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, all of you. So next Thursday, we are meeting again, and the topic is adaptability. I'm sure it's going to benefit every one of us how to adapt ourselves in terms of our leadership abilities, leadership skills. So in case you do not have my contact number, it's on the screen here. And in case you add me to your contacts and send me a hello, I'll share the future notifications about the presentations with you directly. I think that brings us to the close of this SkillUP episode 41. And I would like to see all of you next Thursday, same time, same channel. So I'll send you the notification again, of course. So this presentation ends here. I also thank the 4 lions who read the code of ethics. And
sorry, I forgot that 4. Yes.
Perfect. I thank Lion Ramna Reddy for helping me, and also all the other lions who have participated in this program. So thanks a lot. So I
thank you for patiently listening. Thank you.